Hi everyone, so I am here to talk about episode 3 of season 7 of RuPaul's Drag Race. As you can tell, I am done up as Trixie Mattel this week, and if you want to see my tutorial on this look, stay tuned for Friday, so subscribe to my channel so you can be ready for that. But let's get into this talk about this episode. So let's just get right into it. This episode starts off with a mini challenge called Sissy That Walker. RuPaul comes in and they're talking, and you know, it's a pretty good challenge, I think. So everyone has like 15 minutes to get into drags, and they have to look like an old woman, and they have wigs, I think, provided. And, you know, they get into drags, and, you know, Pearl looks amazing, per usual. It's really funny. I think this challenge was super, super funny. I don't know what it had to do, per se, with the main challenge, but it was funny and fun, and they dressed up. And it was 2 weeks in a row that I've noticed that they dressed up for something kind of weird. So yeah, so I thought it was really... Okay, Jasmine with the bread. Super funny, and RuPaul was just like, where'd you get a loaf of bread? Like, so funny. Anyway, teams are picked. So Max and Kennedy win this challenge. Max, rightfully so. She rocks that granny look with the gray hair all the time. Looks so good. And Kennedy did well as well. So they pick teams. So the teams are for a Shakespeare play, and you know, Shakespeare originated the term drag, dressed as a girl, which if you do theater, you kind of already knew. And it's for Romeo and Juliet and Macbitch after Macbeth, if you can't tell. And so Romeo and Juliet is Max, Ginger Minge, Trixie Mattel, Kasha Davis, Jaden Dior Fierce, and Miss Fame. And they do super well at the challenge. Not super well, but when they're recording it, Jaden kind of gets sad and freaks out, and I feel kind of bad for her, but everyone else, you can tell, is already like, really, girl? Like, we're trying to win this, you know? And I think they had the assumption that they were going to win as a team. Like, last week they didn't, but maybe they're just kind of fighting for themselves. But Jaden kind of screwed up a little, but when Max talked to her, Max is such an angel. I love her so much. But when Max talked to her, you could tell she, like, took it to heart and she used it. And Max is just super sweet. And then she pulled through. She did a good job. I don't know what she was scared about, but she did it and she killed it. And Miss Fame, they always give her that flat statement, but I think she did a good job. And, you know, Max killed it. Max wins the challenge. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We need to talk about the other team. So, Macbitch. Okay, so Pearl doesn't even know what Macbitch is or what Macbeth is, which I think is beautiful because Pearl's cute and oblivious. And so, oh, yes, so I meant to tell you what the team is. So, it is Kennedy, Katya, Jasmine Masters, Pearl, Candy Ho, who looks better this week, and Violet. So, Team Macbitch. So, what do I have? Max was a babe, saved the day. Macbitch was a mess. So, when they cast the roles. Okay, so, this kind of roots in Kennedy's problem, and it's totally Kennedy's fault. And, girl. So, she casts her friend Jasmine as, you know, Macbitch because she doesn't want her to play ghetto. So, she's going to play up with her friend. Well, they're running through the lines. You know, Violet's an obvious candidate for Macbitch. She's the biggest bitch out there. Sorry about it. And, you know, they're like reading it through and they're like, okay, Violet, you're going to play ghetto. And then they fucking switch them. They switch them in the middle of the challenge. Okay, so after you switch them, what should you do? You should run it through. Make sure everyone knows their cues and who they're going after because they've switched. Well, what does Kennedy say when Violet says, I think we should run through our lines as a team? She says, no, we just need to memorize our lines on our own. Mistake number 1. Mistake number 1. There's many here. Okay. And then we get to them actually recording it. Jasmine's makeup, awful. Her wig, awful. It looks bad. And the part that hurts my heart the most is Pearl talking in her deep voice, and RuPaul's like, what? And I'm like, my precious Pearl. And she bumps into things the entire time they're filming, and just, baby. And then, you know, the usual, like, you know, Violet is not performing as a bitch, which is the weirdest thing ever because she's been known as the bitch the entire season, and by this entire season I mean the past 3 episodes, and Untucked, so the past 3 Untucked episodes as well. Violet's the bitch, and she couldn't fucking perform as a bitch. Like, what? Are you kidding? What? super mad, and, you know, just made me super freaking upset because, you know, perform, God. And I think Kennedy really screwed up on this challenge, and I don't think these girls mesh well as a team in the long run. Like, they should have been kind of in the teams they were last week, basically, I think, because I think those teams work. They get along, they kind of have a similar look, and, you know, they're funny. Trixie's funny. Max is funny. So they made sense being together, but I don't know why they didn't have Pearl and Violet. I think they work together. Even though everyone does not like to have Violet on their team, she works with them, and that's what's best. Katya speaks the truth. They're in deep shit. Yep, deep shit. And I think Katya really wanted to do well in the challenge, and you could tell, and she tried the most on that team of all of them, including my precious Pearl. I love you. Violet pulled through despite hate and switch halfway through. Okay, Violet did okay, but she wasn't a total bitch, but she, you know, fucking learned her lines. God damn it. I can't believe, Candy fell in the background. I don't even remember Candy in the thing, but when I watched it again, I kind of saw her more, and I think her character was funny. Kennedy, flatline. Fucking Jasmine, can't even remember her lines. Mess. It was the worst. Like, as RuPaul said, I've never seen a car crash this bad in all 7 seasons. It was that bad, and I felt second-hand embarrassment for Jasmine Masters, and I felt bad for Pearl because she got stuck on that team, and she doesn't deserve that. She deserves to win, you know? It's Pearl. Anyway, where are we at? So, Pearl, Pearl obviously felt really bad about this performance, and my favorite quote from this episode was, "Someone bring me a puppy, I want to die," and I would have brought you a puppy, girl. Kennedy and Jasmine's attitudes are annoying. Okay, this is the one thing I wanted to, in this little review here. Kennedy and Jasmine's attitudes are pretty much awful. I'm pretty much happy with the end outcome of this episode, and, you know, I saw it coming, and it just makes me mad that they would act like that towards girls that are younger and act like they don't know anything. And then Ginger calls them the bitter old lady brigade. Like, I asked for a Heather's 2.0, and I'm seeing it right now, and I didn't want a bitter old lady brigade. Like, calm the fuck down. I like you, Ginger, but your rest of your squad is peace out, Girl Scout, and I'm over it. I've had it. It's fucking rude, and, like, obviously they're doing something right if they're the ones staying and your bitter old lady brigade is the ones going home. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Ugh! And I just want to protect my baby girl Pearl and Trixie and Fame. Sometimes Violet. Love you, Max. Shout out. Jaden and Kasha. What is that about? Oh, I think they're like buddy-buddy and they have a little chat. I think that's what I wrote down. Okay. So we get to the main stage challenge, and it's the bearded challenge. And, you know, last season, season 6, they criticized Milk for coming out with a beard, and I think it was a huge step in accepting all drags to do a bearded challenge this season, and I think it was a great idea on everyone's part to do this. So, let me get into this. The judges this week are Carson Kressley, not Ross Matthews, obvious Michelle Visage and RuPaul, and my favorite actress in the entire world, Kat Dennings, is here, and I'm super excited. But the only critique I have about this is I did not hear a lot of her. I would like to hear more. Is there deleted scenes? I would like to see some more Kat Dennings. And then Mel B, who I don't really know much about, but I knew she laid into these people. Anyway, so Max was like Chinese Salvador Dali, and she killed it. She looked great. Her beard was perfect. It wasn't like a huge like hairy beard, and it was just like perfectly done, and Max looked good. Okay, next I have Ginger. Hate the corset on that dress. What the fuck is wrong with it? If Santino was there, he would have called that out. It was not okay. It just cut her, like, the boobs were here, but her boobs weren't, like, you know, who knows, and the print was awful, but her beard looked good. Her beard looked good. Trixie, I did not like the dress on Trixie, but her beard and her face and her headdress, she looked beautiful. I loved the dark hair on her. You've never seen a dark hair on Trixie yet. I loved it. I think she looked kind of like Jesus. I think that was a good one. Kasha says she looked like a rich bearded lady. I'm getting the same outfit from that as the kind of business looking one I think she did. I think it was last week. It looks the same. It's kind of got the same idea. It's black here, some white on the sides. I think that's her thing. But needless to say, she looked good. Her beard looked good. Not as bad as the others. Fame. Oh, wait, I skipped over one. Jaden. Look isn't too unique to me is what I wrote down, and I have no idea what she wore, and I can't even remember, so that shows how much it sticks out of my mind. Next I have Fame, and I think she looked great. My friend pointed out that she looked kind of Italian, and I totally see that with the little mustache. And in Untucked, did anyone notice her mustache was like there half the episode, and half of it was not? Confused on that. I think she was like gluing it on. I don't know. Fame looked good. I love the red hair on her. I really loved it in the outfit. And she said it was like on the Harlequin look. And you could kind of see that in her makeup in Untucked. You can see makeup in Untucked way better than you can on the TV. Even if you have a giant screen TV. I try to watch it on there and you can't see it as well. But Untucked really shows it off. She had like the little lines in her makeup. You know how Harley Quinn has it. It was so cute. I love Fame. Her beard looked so good. I don't even know who the fuck, okay, who thought to bring beard with them? That's what I'm wondering, you know. Most of these queens don't do beards normally, and, you know, Milk did a beard last year, and she got, you know, hate for it, but who thought to bring a beard this year? I think they must have known that there was going to be something, because everyone had one, you know, except the ones who failed epically at this challenge, and you'll hear about that in a second. But Fame had a perfect beard. Like, what, did she make that? Did she have it with her? Like, I want to know. Who do I have after Fame? I have Kennedy. Mess. Such a mess. The outfit was awful. The freaking beard was, ugh. It looks like she had pubes, and she just glued her pubes to her, bad. Pearl looked like him to me. From, I think it was him. I think that's her name. From Powerpuff Girls. I loved it. I loved the different texture in the beard, and she got that comment. And that was perfect. Jasmine, that beard, what the fuck? And that was a super excuse. And as RuPaul said, I don't want to hear any more goddamn excuses. That was an excuse. And then she was like, rushed to the ER because of my skin breaking out. Okay, you get a zit because you put on spirit gum on your face. Big whoop, Jasmine Masters. Calm your shit. Katya, Abraham Lincoln, fucking perfect. I loved the way that it looked like it was going to be a suit and it ended in a gown. It was fucking beautiful. She packed that shit. She knew. That was A+. She won that look. Pearl, yeah, I already went over that. Candy, okay, Candy, I liked it. You know, I didn't like Candy the first week. Second week, she kind of blended in. She kind of blended in this week. I think she's going to scoop by, make it to the 6th episode, and peace. But yeah, I liked the beard, and Michelle pointed out she's fixing that contour and it looks good, and I liked the shape on her head. She did a good job this week. I was actually impressed. And Violet, okay, don't like Violet's attitude. That runway was beautiful, and the only thing I have to say is I'm surprised Michelle did not clock the length, but I think she knew because the length was supposed to hit that way for a certain reason. It was fucking perfect. Okay. Trixie was told she was funny. Max killed it. Kasha was funny. Max and Ginger slayed it. With Romeo and Juliet, they just perfect. Jaden did okay, and Miss Fame actually got funny. So I think this week, Miss Fame, you know, as they wanted her to do, pop out of her comfort shell, and she did it. She rose to the challenge. She can do it, and I know she can do it on this season. Yeah, so then we come to the next one, and Pearl, I love you. What the fuck is Candy wearing? With the glasses? Goodbye, Jasmine. This is when I literally wrote in my notes as I was watching this episode, goodbye, Jasmine. You are going home this episode. It literally says that. Violet's okay. She doesn't do that bad. I mean, I wish she would have been better as a bitch. Katya did the best on this team. And it was tragic, as Pearl said. That's all I have really to say. So yeah, then we come back and Max wins two latex outfits for this challenge because she is the winner and her whole team is safe. So they go into the Interior Illusions Lounge and we see them Untucked. I wish Pearl was safe because I'd like to watch her more on Untucked because, you know, I like to stare at her. Yeah, so their whole team is safe, and then that whole other team is up for elimination, which I don't think has ever been said, so that was very scary. And it was evident that Katya did the best and looked the best this week, so that was fine. And Jasmine is just excuse after excuse after excuse, and I had it. over it. She's going home. RuPaul even yells at her for it. And then she keeps trying to make excuses as RuPaul is yelling to her. I'm like, okay. And then Violet points out that she said, you know, what she said to, you know, rehearse it as a team. Maybe we would have done better. And she's right. And this is the one time I genuinely agree with Violet. And I think she did not fuck up as bad. Like, I think she was right. And I liked that point out. And then Pearl's so cute. And Kat loved her. And I feel you, Kat. I love Pearl too, and I love you, Kat Dennings. But I want to cry for Pearl, and I love Pearl, and she hasn't gotten critiqued yet, and this is her first time, and it was bad, and I just feel so bad for her precious little face, and I love you, Pearl. Okay, let's keep going. Candy is improving. Michelle points it out. Candy is improving. Violet is getting good praise for her outfit. Okay, yes, it was a killer outfit, but hate for her performance. And okay, this is when I was like, I need to rewatch it, because I was like, I don't think she did that bad, and I watched it over again, and I was like, she did. Point out she made a point to practice. Yes, that was the RuPaul lays in. And then here we go. Oh yeah, Carson says Kennedy looks like she had old pubes on her face, and I think that's where I got the pubes thing I said earlier. I don't even remember writing this down. And then she says, wake up, Pearl. Okay, so they are getting back in there, and they're chit-chatting while they're deliberating, and they call him back out, and they get Katya safe. Who else is on the team? I think it's not Kasha. Katya's safe, Candy is safe, Violet is safe, and then it's left with Pearl, Kennedy, and Jasmine. And Pearl, you know, she's not going to be in the bottom two, because they would never do that to her. And I just felt so bad for her. And then she said, wake up, Pearl. And Pearl will do it. She's going to make it to the top 3. I'm telling you right now. And then it's Kennedy and Jasmine lip syncing. They both do pretty bad. Kennedy didn't turn it out. Jasmine did awful. Beard is awful. Goodbye, Jasmine. She goes home. Let's get to Untucked. I think I wrote this in a different one on accident. Or maybe I didn't write anything on Untucked. Sorry, I watched it this morning. So, Untucked. So let's get into this. It's a lot of bickering this episode, and it really bugged me, and I did not like, you know, hearing from Jasmine and making all these excuses, because it's not fair and it's not right. She shouldn't be making excuses. It's the 7th season of Rupaul's Drag Race. So, like, come the fuck on. And then when they come back into the workroom, Kennedy says something. Oh, Miss Fame says, you know, we all have challenges we're going to rise to, and all have challenges we're going to fall to. It just depends on, you know, what happens which week. And Kennedy is like, that's the one thing I agree with you out of all the bullshit you said. And it just pissed me the fuck off, because I was like, okay, why would you say that to her face? And then, like, are you kidding? Like, that's so rude. And, like, Fame's just genuinely nice. I don't understand. And then, you know, pot stir over here, Violet Chachki, you know, just has to put some shit in there and throw some fucking shade and be a bitch. And then Pearl just kind of sits there and feeling bad the whole time, and I just feel genuinely, like, for her. I'm trying to think of anything else that stood out on Untucked for me this episode. There wasn't much that stood out on Untucked, but I just really enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed a lot of Pearl, and I think that concludes my thoughts on Untucked. Next week, they are doing a challenge where they have to sing, and if you've watched the preview on the Logo TV app, you have seen what's going on, and I screen kept 1,000 pictures of Pearl, and I think this will be a good challenge. I'm excited to see next week's episode, and this week's episode was pretty good, despite, actually, no, this week's episode was not pretty good, because it made me sad, and it made me feel bad for Pearl and the people that I do like on the season. So I'm hoping that next week we have a good episode. Pearl does well. My girl Trixie, my girl Miss Fame, my girl Max, they're gonna kill it, and next episode is gonna be good, and I'm excited to see it. And this concludes my review this week of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 7, Episode 3. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you want to follow me on the internet and hear more of my opinions, my link to the Twitter and the Instagrams are down below. You can also follow my brand new Pearl blog. It's called pearliaisonsbay.tumblr.com, and it's doing really well. It's been up for a week. I don't think I mentioned it last week in my video, but it was in the description because I made it right like the day after, and I'm really proud of it, so I want you guys to go see that, so as well as watching these videos, which is going to go up on my Pearl blog. So if you're coming from the Pearl blog, hey, this is me, this is what I look like. yeah, so I think this concludes this video. Please like this video if you enjoyed this review. I really enjoyed making them, so I hope you enjoy them. Comment on the video and tell me what look you want me to do next week. Maybe a different queen. I've done Pearl, kind of did Max, and this is my Trixie look. So I can do Pearl again because I'm really loving that red eyebrow thing. And yeah, let's see how this goes. So thank you for watching and subscribing to my channel. I love you guys so much, and let's stay tuned for next week's episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 7, Episode 4. Goodbye, everyone. I love you. Mwah.